Welcome back to another edition of Talon Talk. This will be our 28th edition, and it is our second via Zoom. We'll be featuring a video conference to go along with this interview for the second time. And the interview today will feature two juniors on the UNF women's golf team, Mindy Herrick of Gainesville, Florida, and Sara McKevitt from Ponte Vedra. Herrick was an All-ASUN second team selection last year and a WGCA All-America Scholar, and McKevitt spent her freshman year at USF before coming back home and joining UNF. So we'll be talking about their new lives, their new training, day-to-day habits, and obviously the success of the last couple years with the UNF women's golf team and the abrupt conclusion of the season. Thank you guys for joining today.
Thank you.
So obviously, I'm sure you guys have listened to, different people comment about the situation with COVID and student athletes responding. What was it like for you when you first heard the news? I think probably March 11th or 12th.
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for me because I feel like we had kind of just settled into the beginning of our spring season, and we had just gotten some tournaments under our belt. We had just won our home tournament. We all played really good, so it was hard. Like, I was coming off a good season personally. We were playing great as a team. So knowing that, it's kind of over for us was just it was really hard to take.
Mm-hmm.
I had just went to Georgia for an internship interview, and literally within the day of me coming back, everything unfolded, and then it was oh, there's no more season, and it was kind of unreal to me. It didn't really hit me for a couple days until we had our team meeting, and I was like, oh my gosh, our season's over.
Mm-hmm.
It was in disbelief because it was just kind of crazy to think about, but I don't know, it's kind of we were all looking forward to conference so much, and then for it to just get taken away, it's kind of just wow, we worked all that. And
Mm-hmm. What was the first thing that you guys did in response to it as a team?
Team meeting wise, or
how did you guys go about either saying goodbye to your teammates or trying to figure out a plan to just go about the rest of your year and maybe practice on your own if you could?
Yeah, coach had a meeting I think it was 2 days after we had found out or something like that. So we just kind of had a meeting for 20 minutes, and we kind of just reflected on our season, and it was kind of okay, this is maybe a minor setback, but think of everything that we've accomplished and move forward, and hey, let's keep in touch. Hey, I went out and played 9 holes today. What did you guys shoot? Stuff like that. We were kind of just trying to just keep in touch, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what about you, Sara?
We texted about it a lot kind of as things were unfolding as well. When, the NBA kind of was dealing at the very beginning, they were kind of the first ones to start really letting things unfold. And then with the Ivy Leagues kind of shutting things down really quickly, we talked about that. We were still practicing kind of as those first couple news little outlets were coming out, and we were like, oh my gosh, did you hear this happen? Whatever. We were like, okay, let's just keep doing our thing. Let's just keep practice going. Just, act like everything's normal until we finally got that official announcement from the NCAA. And that's kind of when, we were all like, oh gosh, it's actually happening. We didn't, everyone kind of assumed oh, it's got to be coming. Then we finally got that NCAA announcement. And then from there, our conference hadn't actually really said anything about conference championships yet. So then our hope was, okay, wait, maybe we'll still have conference. Somehow, some way, maybe we'll make this happen. And we'll still keep practicing, and we'll figure it out. And then, of course, our conference came back and said, no, everything's done. So then it was really okay, it was kind of not necessarily one let down to the other, but it was kind of one thing after another. And then you're okay, now everything is done. So now it's okay, let's all prepare separately in different areas of the country, because everyone went home, and some of our teammates are internationals. So I mean, gosh, Mindy, we text basically every day. Someone says something sometimes it's completely random things. The other day, our coach sent a picture of her dog, And I have a dog, so I sent a picture of my dog back, and we were joking about how they were probably sick of us being inside all day long. So we're keeping in touch a lot and making sure to keep each other motivated during this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed too, is just I text a lot of random things that I normally wouldn't be texting, or just kind of just like,
Right.
I'm going crazy right now. Why am I bringing this up, or something like that? You're trying to find ways to fill time. But it was the same situation for us. And at the time, I know I was working a baseball game, so I was sitting in the press box, and I was hearing the NBA had that news released, and the next thing you know, it's you're done with the game, and it's a potential reality, but it doesn't really exist yet, and then you're adjusting on the fly. So what does your day-to-day kind of look like as students? What do you guys try to do to keep a structure?
I've just tried to kind of take it one day at a time. I kind of told myself that when all this stuff happened, every day I'm gonna like make a to-do list per se of like, okay, here are the academic things I need to get done. Here are maybe a couple academic things I want to get done, like if I can. And then maybe, I need to go to the grocery store. I want to practice, maybe I want to practice putting inside today, or today I'm going to try and go play 9 holes, whatever it may be. That way I can kind of work through it. I don't feel like I have to sit down and do all my schoolwork at once, because I tried that and that didn't really work for me.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can kind of break it up in between other things, just like we would normally do. We normally have practice, then a little break, and then school. So I've been trying to sort of stick to that routine, but at the same time, like not necessarily exact schedule out, so it doesn't feel really like forced, but more like kind of fluid. I can just knock some things out by the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, but I'm a little more free-flowing, so if I wanted to do, like, go out and lay in the sun for the day, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go lay in the sun and, like, read a book. So I've definitely kind of been sticking to, like, doing my schoolwork every day, because I do have a lot of stuff to do still, so definitely trying to get that done ahead of time and not pressure myself, like, deadlines-wise. So I'm still practicing pretty much every day. I have a putting mat in my house, so I've been doing that every day, kind of trying to do something active every day as well, do some kind of home workout or go for a bike ride or something, and then still practicing and doing homework and spending time with my family too. My parents really missed me, so I get with my mom a lot now.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people have had the opportunity to just really be with people that they normally aren't with. And you have that kind of excuse to, you got to make time for them now, which, isn't always the case for everybody, but for the people that you have that opportunity for, it's great. I know that I'm sure people are jumping on Zoom calls and FaceTime calls with people that, they don't normally have time to spend, conversating with, which is good. How is it as golfers? I mean, you guys have the unique opportunity to still get out on the course if you can, or you can golf within, you can get some putts in.
I think it's a little different just because, like, going out to the golf course, I'm like, oh crap, I have to, like, be 6 feet from these people who I'm normally, like, just, like, playing with normally, like, not worrying. So it is still, like, I got to play yesterday with some guys at my club, and we just had a little competitive, like, best ball, like, 2 versus 2, and it's actually so fun, and it was, like, normal again. It felt normal. So I feel like golf can be a little bit of an escape for us, just because that is our normal, and some of us are still able to practice. But also it is weird because, like, my putting green, they took out all the holes, so we just have, like, little posts now. And there's only so many people allowed on the range at a certain time, and we're not allowed to go here and there. So I think it's a little different, but it also can be normal if you make it normal.
Sure. How about you, Sarah?
Yeah, for me, it's kind of evolved a little bit, because a majority of the golf courses in Jacksonville are still open. Most things are kind of business as usual. They have switched to 1 person per cart. That's like the new state mandate that they're doing to maintain 6 feet away from each other. But I will say, honestly, like, around here, everything's significantly more busy which sounds weird, but like, no, it seems like no one's really working. Everyone's kind of playing golf. So I've had the opportunity to kind of reach out to some friends that I have that don't necessarily play college golf, but maybe just like play golf recreationally. Or even like my swing coach is located in Jacksonville, and he has a lot of younger students in Jacksonville that are, you know, their aspirations are to play college golf. And I've gotten to play with a variety of people. I played with one of his students the other day because she's a member of a private club that I normally don't play in Jacksonville called Queens Harbor. And we got to talk a lot about like college golf, what it's like, you know, just the differences between high school and college, you know, what she, you know, might really want to do in the future, what level she might want to play at, and those types of things. And I've actually kind of transitioned to doing a little bit more technique work than I might normally do, because, you know, I know, hey, I have all this time. Like, I know it's kind of difficult to approach at first because, you know, I don't know when my next event's going to be. We don't know when our next event's going to be. Maybe we might have something in summer, maybe not. One of the big USGA championships across the whole U.S. was just postponed to December, which was supposed to be played like at the beginning of summer. So it's like, okay, I may not have anything all summer. My soonest tournament might be in the fall for UNL. So let's really nail down some specifics, because I'm someone that likes to get very technical. So I actually set up this hitting net in my house.
All right.
And yeah, I have a little mat here and everything.
Nice.
So I have a tripod that I can set up kind of behind me, and I can either, you know, FaceTime my coach or just set it up to take some videos, and I can like really kind of work on some stuff. And then from there, I just take it out to the course and go play and don't worry about it. But it's allowed me to really nail down some things, you know, in my alone time that I normally don't really have time to work on with actually playing all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's like I've seen a lot of professional baseball players, they'll post videos, they'll be up in their penthouse and they've got, you know, their tee work going on. And I'm like, man, if you
Right.
miss hit that, like that ball's going through a window. Like, I'm sorry about your neighbors too.
Yeah, no, I don't really have the penthouse area to work with, but I made it work with my living room, just avoiding the fan. That's really my only concern right now, is the fan's like close. But everything else I think is good. I've been hitting it good enough where I'm not really concerned about breaking anything.
Yeah. I think, back when I played baseball, I think my mom's happy I'm probably not around the house right now. I had caused some issues with some lamps and some vases, you never know. But yeah. So looking back to last year, you guys had a really great finish to what was your end of final event of the year at the UNF Collegiate. And you guys actually, Coach Berglund was saying that you kind of honored your seniors then. Looking back, are you guys thankful that that was an opportunity for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was new for us, too. We hadn't quite done anything like that before. And our coach put together this whole long video of pictures. And I hadn't seen, 3/4 of the pictures. I actually transferred in my sophomore year, so I've only been here 2 years. And I saw some pictures where, you know, I was like, wow, that's so Sydney, or that's so Natalia. But I had never actually been a part of that situation. So it was cool to see all the memories that they had even before I was here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so cool to be a part of. Like, my parents were like, yeah, I'm coming to dinner. And I'm like, what? Like, why are you coming to the dinner? And then I kind of figured it out. And it's so cool just to kind of honor our seniors that way. And the timing, how it worked out, was just really, really weird, because like normally we have a couple other tournaments after the event, but for us to like be able to honor those seniors and then also like go and win our home tournament was just so like, it was like the icing on the cake. I guess it was just a really good way to go out. Obviously we were looking forward to the next couple tournaments, but just our seniors, like I just feel for them, and like for them to go out like that, like that was the only tournament that we won last year, so that was really good, but it was just like icing for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that turned out to be a really fortunate thing for you guys, and you know, I hadn't thought about that. I'm like, oh wow. And it is interesting with golf, in a sense where it's like tennis in a way, where you guys have quite a few, you know, events in the fall, and then you get an opportunity to play in the spring as well. So you do get you do get more events than, you know, a lot of sports will get because of that. But at the same time, obviously you want to play your ASUN championship. Looking at yourselves as juniors right now, and then getting prepared, what is that mindset right now that, man, it could be so far from, you know, my next real high stress tournament opportunity? How do you work on your mental game right now?
There's I work with Dr. Olson from the Taylor Leadership Institute, and he has like kind of given me a few books. So really just kind of focusing on reading those books and just preparing yourself, I guess you should say, because putting yourself in that competitive situation is difficult right now, obviously, and we don't know when that is, but still kind of maybe looking back on the season and noticing what your weaknesses are and your strengths, and working on those weaknesses, trying to find ways to overcome those weaknesses. I've been reading a book, it's called The Champion's Mindset, so that's kind of helping me just kind of keeping up with my mental game. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I feel like we're kind of in a lull of you either take advantage of your free time or you don't take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as a collegiate athlete, I feel like a lot of us are struggling with this situation, and we're reaching out to people like Dr. Olson looking for guidance, but there may be athletes that aren't doing that aren't using their time wisely. So I think we have to think about, okay, what are we going to do that maybe someone else isn't going to do today? Let's work harder than someone else so that whenever our next event is, when we get back to it, that we're ready for it. And maybe we had more time and put more practice in than someone else did. And that'll give us that little edge over someone else. And I know like Mindy and I would love to play golf after college. And for us, it's like, okay, this is a really crucial time for us to be playing competitively and playing competitively a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of being like, okay, like we only have one more year, basically, like let's figure out how to use this in a way that's actually going to be effective. And I guess for me, it's kind of been hard because like I don't really know if it's going to be effective until it's over. Like, am I doing all the things right now correct in the right way to be prepared later? Like, I won't really know. I can try to set goals and measure them to make sure that I'm actually like moving forward. But again, like I'm just trying to put all my effort and work in that I can right now that maybe someone else isn't doing, so that I can be more prepared than someone else or be ready to compete maybe a little bit more than someone else. So it's hard, but we got to do what we can, kind of lean on each other, reach out to people, see what other people are doing, talk to our teammates, still try to stay competitive in that sense.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things as an athlete. It's you do all this work, but you like to have the competition to be able to evaluate how effective your practice is. And so now you kind of are just like really trusting that this is all I can do and this is worth my time, so I'm going to do it. And in a way, I mean, I think a lot of people probably feel that if they have more downtime now, they probably put a little bit more pressure on themselves to kind of make progress in areas of their lives that they don't normally get a chance to. Do you guys feel that at all?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's definitely like there's no one, kind of watching over us right now. Like we can support each other and, try to hold each other accountable, but at the same time, like I'm living by myself right now. Like I have no one that's telling me to get out of bed, to work out, to go hit balls, to do whatever. Like I might have a couple people that text me and say, hey, let's go do this today, or let's go practice today. But no one's actually here to like make sure I'm holding myself accountable. So I guess it's definitely that pressure of still get up, still work out, still, do everything that you need to do, but it's all on you now.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like that little sense of like you get up and like you're like waking up watching TV and you're like, oh crap, like I actually need to do this today. So it's almost like a little bit of like guilt inside, like, oh wow, like I need to act like this is a real day and like actually go practice. So I should be practicing right. So then I'm like, okay, let's go practice. Or oh, I should be putting today, so let's go putt. So I definitely feel that little bit of like internal pressure of, I know this time is like free time for me now, but I still need to be using it wisely.
Is there one thing in particular, it doesn't have to be golf related, that you guys are like, I want to do this, or I want to learn how to do this right now?
Not really. I've been playing cards with my mom more because she asks me like every day. I guess that's kind of the other thing, but
Hey, that's something. I mean, there are a lot of card games out there, and you never know when you need to have knowledge in one.
yeah, definitely.
For me, mine actually is like kind of golf, like is golf related. I want to increase my swing speed. So that's something that I've been working on. I bought a couple new training aids to work on that. So I actually bought like a couple kind of things to help me with that. Pull-ups are known for increasing swing speed. So I bought a pull-up bar.
Very good.
Trying to do some more pull-ups, like just like I guess things that we normally can't really do. Like I have a couple like random like home improvement things I'm doing just because I don't normally have time to do them, but I'm have that extra boredom free time that I'm going to use to try and take advantage and do like little projects here and there. So yeah, just kind of random things, and then maybe a couple golf goals that aren't necessarily related directly to my game, but could help me in the future.
Is it one of those door pull-up bars?
Yeah, the ones where you put on the door frame and kind of hope you put it on there good enough.
Yeah.
It's
That's I've done it at a couple other people's homes and whatnot, but I don't know how much I trust myself to execute it correctly. That could be.
Oh man, I put it together, and as I was putting it together, I was like, this is a little shaky. Like I know I'm doing this right, but this seems like this is moving a little too much. But now we're hoping it, one, doesn't break the door frame, or two, doesn't fall while I'm doing it.
That's the goal. Yeah, it's but that's a product that's probably booming right now. A lot of people are buying those.
You would be so surprised how hard it is to find workout equipment right now. And not only can you find it, but can you ship it to you?
Right, in a timely manner.
3-week period. Like Amazon is like back ordered for like 3 weeks or 20 days or whatever it is.
Yeah, you got to find those few items on Amazon. They're like, nobody's buying these. All right, this is what I'm going to buy now. Yeah.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you guys want to touch on or bring up or just, express?
Stay healthy, man. That's all I got to say. We all can come out of this, and no one knows how's a friend or family that was affected by COVID. That's great. Like somehow stay healthy, stay inside when you can. If you need to go outside, just take the precautions that you feel like you need to do to stay healthy, and let's come out of this stronger and hopefully quicker than we can ever expect.
I've just been thinking about how much I want to like win a championship at this point, because I was like ready this year. I'm like, let's do it. Like, and now I'm like, okay, well, I have 1 year to do it. Like, I'm ready. Like, I want to work towards that, and I want to push my teammates to like, let's win that championship next year, especially because it's my senior year. But also obviously staying healthy and just kind of using this time wisely. Also like enjoying yourself. Like you do have free time, and most of the time as athletes, like we really don't have that a lot. So it is weird, but also just like doing things every day for yourself and just trying to make yourself happy, because certain things might not be very happy times and stuff. And sometimes you may get down. So I've just been trying to like be happy and just at least do something every day to just boost my happiness and be positive in this whole thing. So
yeah, all good messages. I mean, but that's trying to harness this time the best we can and coming out on the other side better than we were before, if possible. So thank you so much, guys. You did great. We got another visitor here in our interview at the end. Wanted to get a couple words in before we left. It's Mindy Herrick and Sara McKevitt from the UNF women's golf team. Thanks, guys.
So thanks again for taking the time to talk today, guys. Continue to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and of course continue to stay up to date with UNF athletics on all of our social media accounts and at unfospreys.com. We're continuing to promote our accomplishments of the 2019-20 season on each Thursday, going each Thursday all day, promoting those seasons as we recap them. We'll also be continuing our Osprey Today series, promoting our greatest accomplishments on various days in UNF history, so stay tuned for both those things. Thank you guys again for listening, and we'll be back here next Thursday.